The following is an audio presentation of The Prayer of Jesus by Hank Hanegraaff, copyright 2001. This unabridged recording was developed and narrated by Hank Hanegraaff, president of the Christian Research Institute and host of the Bible Answer Man radio broadcast, heard daily throughout the U.S. and Canada. And now, with the foreword to the book, here's best-selling author of The Case for Christ and The Case for Faith, Lee Strobel.
On November the 8th of 1981, after nearly 2 years of investigating the evidence for Christianity, I felt compelled to abandon my atheism and embrace Jesus as my forgiver, my leader, and my friend. But then I was stuck. Now what? How was I supposed to develop a relationship with an invisible God? How could I converse with Jesus if I couldn't audibly hear his voice in return? Why should I ask for something if God already knows my needs in advance? Was I being selfish if I requested the desires of my heart? Was there a right way and a wrong way of talking to God? Well, there's no shortage of advice on prayer. Amazon.com lists 8,202 books on the subject. How does anyone know what's valid and what isn't? Are there really shortcuts, as some authors claim? Frankly, I ended up treating prayer as if I were at a spiritual smorgasbord. I took a little of this author's ideas, a bit of advice from that pastor's sermons, applied some miscellaneous Bible verses, and mixed it with some counsel of well-meaning friends. The result? An imbalanced and half-baked prayer life that left me starving for something more satisfying. It took me longer than I'd like to admit to seek counsel from the very one who is the ultimate expert on relating to God. That's Jesus Christ himself. I soon found that he had personally revealed the essentials of prayer. Thanks to his teaching and his modeling, I now had a fully orbed way of deepening my relationship with God. The result has been the adventure of a lifetime. And that's the approach my friend Hank Hanegraaff takes in this wonderfully insightful book, The Prayer of Jesus. He lets the Master lay out a spiritual feast for anyone who wants to be truly nourished. In fact, I wish he'd written it 20 years ago. Hank has produced a balanced, practical, and very wise orientation to prayer. It flows not just from his considerable theological knowledge, but also from his personal experience in applying Jesus' principles day by day in his own life. I have prayed with him in quiet moments out of the spotlight.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?